What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today I want to talk about a key concept, and it's something I've been thinking on and meditating on for a while now. I believe that life is a lot about self-mastery. It's about inner work, about understanding ourselves, about finding a true set of morals, principles to believe in, to lead us and to follow us. I believe that spiritual work is where it all begins, because I'm big on that on my YouTube, is talking about the inside, what's really going on deeper down. Because when you look deep, you have to get straight to the source if you want change in your life. All these videos are so cookie cutter. It's like, oh, get a journal, do this, do that. Like, you don't need to write shit down. You don't need to work a chart, do a diagram to figure yourself out. You just have to sit in silence by yourself and your own thoughts and just be and just think, and things will start to come to you. But I think the problem nowadays is we don't give ourselves that time. Some people are set up to never have that time, with toxic parents, with toxic siblings, friends, living situations. Energy is very contagious, good or bad. And, we have to learn to protect our own energy as individuals and, how to evolve. And if we don't have a good relationship with ourselves, who we are when no one's looking, when no one's watching, then things can get messy quickly. So what I want to get in this topic with is, all of that sounds great, right? A lot of woo-woo, wah-wah. But, what is the reality? What are the steps that you can take to actually change and, to get your life back on track? And for me personally, I've heard this before, and I do believe that when you need direction, when you need, a revamp in your life, you need to start eliminating shit. You don't need to add. So you have to be able to honestly look at yourself, pride to the side, ego to the side, and you have to understand, where you're at in life. What are you missing? What are you lacking? Where are you spending your time? What's your downfall? I believe that we all are escaping in one form or the other. And if we can get real with ourselves and identify our vices, a lot of evolution can come from that. I truly believe in this. And I think what we get it wrong is all of this sounds pretty cookie cutter, right? It might, maybe it doesn't. But the deeper part of it is learning how to manage pleasure and pain. Learning how to find that balance. Because it's a very narrow line that those that can play both sides. I feel like a lot of people are just, wage slaves nowadays, just kind of NPC vibes, distracted, just pulled, their strings are being pulled, And, then you have the people that are just so serious about the grind that they don't even know how to socialize or live. And then you have people in between. And if you're one of those in-betweeners, let me not, I don't know if I want to go with the in-between with that analogy I had, but let's just understand that most people fall in, those categories that aren't optimal. Because if you're partying all the time, you're never gonna get anywhere in life, and you're gonna have a shitload of regrets. And if you're so serious about life that you don't know how to live, you don't know how to find balance, it's gonna be hard to build relationships and connections. And you're gonna struggle to identify with people and relate. So that's why you have to find the balance of partaking in, social activities and pleasure and, whatever that looks like for you. But you have to find the balance with your work and learn how to reward yourself with these things. Personally, I have an addictive mindset. And, in the past I've said, oh, let me go cold turkey. Let me just quit this shit, this and that. And, that worked for me and all that. But I truly believe that that's almost like cope. If I'm being honest, like about addiction, obviously if it's something bad, like a hardcore drug, obviously there's no need for that. But let's say you're someone who has a gaming problem, or you're someone who has a drinking problem or a smoking problem. I'm not the guy that's gonna say, oh, quit that shit. I'm the guy that's gonna say, optimize it and learn how to, if that's your thing, if drinking's your thing, then learn how to work hard all week to reward yourself on that Friday with the boys, with having a couple beers. Learn how to optimize your life to that way. Because so many people have just said, oh, I can't ever do this again. I can't ever do that again. And then they get caught in the grind. But we're all grinding regardless. So we need to grind and enjoy life at the same time, because life just is a grind. And if you continue to grind forever without living, then, what are you gonna do? Like, eventually you have to look back at your life and say, wow, was I fulfilled? Did I have meaningful connections? Did I do something with my life? And, that's why I truly believe that we have to find our balance. We have to find our honest moderation. Like, we have to be real with ourselves. Like, what does moderation look like for us with, the thing that is our weakness or our vice? What would true moderation look like for that? So someone who loves gaming, me for example, I used to always love to game. I used to game nonstop. I wish my parents would have got on me a little bit more, but whatever. So I carried that habit into my adult life. And that addiction is so powerful, as with any addiction. Whether it's prawn, whether it's gaming, whether it's, drugs, alcohol, whatever your vices is, they can all drag you to hell because your mind gets obsessed with that. And you start associating those dopamine pleasures from that addiction with all your other shit. And then you're like, well, this game matters more than this real life situation because I'm getting pleasure from this and I'm just escaping from this. It just becomes like an escape loop. But you have to rewire your mind to say, I can't keep running from problems. They're not gonna get any better. I need to face reality. And at the end of my day, let me reward myself with X. And you have to own that. You have to have the discipline with that. And if you can consistently do that, that builds inner confidence. That builds, reassurance in yourself, confidence in yourself, love and respect within yourself. And that's gonna carry on to other parts of your life. So think about that and maybe tailor philosophy or mindset around that. And learn to reward yourself. Because you need, I preach this a lot, the isolation and alone time is important, but you guys also know that I preach to make friends and don't neglect your social circle. Because don't become that guy who just grinds so hard that you can't even relate with anybody, that you don't even really care to hang out with anybody. Like, I became that guy and I started to become like lonely and, kind of bitter and off. But I realized that, I snapped out of that, and now I'm going out of my way to, increase my social circle again and make new friends and push myself out of my comfort zone. Because, life matters, what you have matters, but who you have is gonna really bring that inner fulfillment and peace in your life. And, you guys just have to understand that time is fading. Time is finite, and we only have so much time to do things in life. And if we're constantly grinding for the paper, are we even living? So I challenge you to, take your deepest, darkest shit analyze it, throw it up on the wall, look at it, and say, how can I turn this into a positive thing? Because that's what I've done with my vices. You know, I'm not sitting here to just be saying being sober forever, or to, you know, use a substance every day to get by. I don't believe in any of that shit. But I believe in treating yourself and having rewards and understanding how your dopamine system and how your brain works. You know, to fully optimize your productivity in your life, you have to have something to look forward to. And oftentimes, you know, especially as an addict, when your whole life or your whole thought pattern revolves around certain things, it can be hard to rewire. So sometimes cold turkey isn't the answer. Sometimes it's like reshaping your mindset to be like, I'm gonna reward myself now with this. And this is like, I'm gonna have discipline, I'm gonna set standards with it. So this is like my mindset with certain things. And, you know, I do firmly believe in this because, you know, you have to understand your dopamine and how you think and how it works. And, you know, pain and pleasure are a balance. So you can't just numb yourself out like with substances or with games or whatever your vice is. If you just numb and you're not focusing and tackling real life shit, it's gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse. And there's no way around that. You only have a certain amount of time. This is it. This is your life. Do the inner work and start reflecting and evolving. And just let me know what you guys think down below. But yeah, a little bit different concept today, but just some thoughts I had on my mind. So take care, everyone.